looking at our Jekyll and Hyde GCSE English Literature scheme of learning, we were previously looking at chapter analysis with Phoebe, which introduced some of the key characters, themes, settings, and contexts of the novella. How do you build on this within the knowledge lessons, Phoebe?
So I'll just run you through the structure, the sequence of a knowledge lesson, just to give you an idea of how we use this to sort of build on the introduced characters and themes and writers' techniques. So each knowledge lesson, they'll get this lesson at the end of every chapter, and it's meant to consolidate what they'll have already been introduced to in the chapter analysis, and then have sort of come back to in the analysis questions of the excerpts. So the knowledge lesson will start with a basic comprehension question. So this one, for example, is what is the relationship between Jekyll and Hyde? This ensures students definitely understand key aspects of the plot, so that obviously no student will come to the exam not knowing that Jekyll and Hyde are the same person, or that Lanyon dies of shock. And these cover context items to address AO3. So we've got, for example, questions on Victorian society, which is one of the items. Which of the following would have been most important to a Victorian? All of this comes with human narrated feedback as well. So if they get this question wrong, they'll be redirected to the question again. So then after the basic comprehension question for the knowledge items being addressed in the chapter, we'll get an image activity. Let's see, this is a good one. So this is teaching what a supernatural element in the novel is. So which of these images represents something supernatural? This presents the knowledge in a multimodal activity. So it's supposed to build semantic links for the student, make it more memorable and engaging, so that they can sort of envision. So obviously we've got a volcano and a computer and a rainbow, and the supernatural thing is the alien invasion.
Yeah.
Or for structure, for example, which is AO2, we've got letters are taught as a device, which are a structural device. So we always mention that the actual structure of the novella is built through these letters. So we've got this image activity for letters here. So after the image activity, they'll have a quotation activity where they'll have to look at a quotation perhaps and select a part of the quotation that supports a particular theme. This asks them to interact with key quotations. Or some of these activities also ask them to select the best quotation to use as evidence for a certain point. So they have to read the point and choose a quotation to back it up with. This familiarizes students with using the quotations in their own original responses, and it also points out some good ones to memorize. So this is a quotation about Mr. Hyde that obviously they could store in their knowledge organizer and return to later.
Yeah, great for active revision.
And then we have finally in the knowledge lesson an inference activity. So these are mostly text-based. They'll get a quotation from the excerpt, for example, and they'll have to make an inference about that text. So why might Dr. Lanyon want to stay and watch Hyde take the potion? This asks them to think about his character, his motivations, so that they can really kind of dive into the characters, and from there they can get closer to Stevenson's authorial intent. So this helps them draw their own conclusions, which is key, because obviously exam responses need to be original responses, and so AO1 says it needs to be an informed personal response, and yeah, it will help them get closer to the meanings and effects of these characters and themes.
Yes, you can clearly see that this is going to get students to engage with Jekyll and Hyde.